What's up, people? We are here with a new visual novel called Fault, Milestone 1. So Eden is pretty close to being done. Oh god, I don't know, spoilers of course, but yeah. So this is the next one that's going to be going after that, and I actually stumbled upon the second game of this, Fault Milestone 2, on the Steam store page not too long ago, and it looked really interesting and actually just got me a little bit hyped to want to play this game. But when I actually looked through the information, it actually was very clear that I needed to play the first game of this one before actually starting the second one, which makes sense of course. But in certain games, they're just, even though they're called 1 and 2, sometimes they're not connected, but in this case that definitely is the case, because the second one contains heavy spoilers of the first game. So yeah, we're just gonna play through Fault Milestone 1 and try and finish that as soon as possible so that we can begin Fault Milestone 2. So before we start, I actually want to say that I'm gonna show you guys the prologue first, which is sort of a video where in a previous recording I tried to read it, but the text just goes inhumanly fast and I'm just incapable of reading that fast. So that part I'm sadly not going to read, but when the usual part starts where you can read at your own pace, that's where I'm going to come in. So if it goes too fast for you guys as well, which I'm almost certain that it does, I suggest you just pause the video for a while and just read every single text first, because it goes pretty damn fast. But yeah, let's start with the prologue and then start the real game. Chapter 1, Galvanize. Rughzenhaide Castle, the great hall to the sky terrace. As sparks shot and flames spread throughout the great hall, a small window ascended the spiral staircase to the sky terrace. I am the one who's reached the top of the castle first! A girl who appeared no older than a child spearheaded the assault on the Rughzenhaide Castle and was the first to arrive at the highest point of its keep, the sky terrace. The girl, alert and aware, struck a defensive pose and quickly scanned her surroundings. She held her breath as she surveyed the terrace. Prior to the assault, the girl's party had received intelligence that the sky terrace was unguarded, and that the object of their pursuit was secluded in the terrace. Inheritor of the fabled path down mana crafty and heiress to the throne. Reveal yourself, Princess Selphine Rughzenhaide. This name. You know there's no escaping from this. The girl's shouts reverberated throughout the empty terrace. There was no response to this girl's command, but she maintained her guard. Despite her appearance, the girl was an experienced hunter. She moved towards the center of the sky terrace, her short stature producing silent steps, precise and without waste. She has to be here. Somewhere. With nothing in sight, the girl began to question the credibility of their intel. Doubt overtook her, and she put her hand to her right ear and spoke aloud. Hey, Xian! Can you hear me? If you can hear me, respond. I guess she's still preoccupied. Our intel was wrong. The target's not here. Nobody's here. The girl relaxed her guard and took a long, deep breath. The girl proceeded further into the sky terrace, towards the balcony. There was a solid wood dining table at the center of the balcony, which overlooked the castle town below. A beautiful embroidery was draped over the table. There were several large dining chairs pushed underneath, each constructed from solid wood and handcrafted with impeccable detail. The table and all its amenities were works of art. Every object, from the dining table to the decorations, strategically placed throughout the sky terrace, screamed of wealth. Perhaps overcome with envy, the girl proceeded to correct a toppled dining chair at the head of the table and nonchalantly plopped herself into the seat. I could get used to this, she thinks. A strange sensation shot through her small frame, a sensation that could only be described as one of grandeur. At the head of the table, overlooking the castle town, below sat the girl. Her upbringing, a complete contrast to the seat's previous occupants, the absurdity of it delighted her. Tee-hee! Slam! The uncouth commoner placed her boot onto the now soiled embroidery covering the table, lounged back in the dining chair, and relaxed her eyes. Whose seat was the girl sitting in? Who could be so fortunate enough to be born into such privilege, to be allowed a seat so grand? These trivial thoughts bounced around in the girl's mind. The owner of the chair was of little significance, because they had since abandoned the chair, fleeing in fear for their life as the castle came under siege. Royalty. If I could eat on a table like this every day, I'd feel right and royal too. The girl peered down onto the castle town from the balcony and saw the streets engulfed in flames. Beautiful. The town's just glowing. After her sarcastic soliloquy, the girl noticed something as she left her seat. Uh-oh, it's another girl covered in blood. Another girl stood at the entrance from where the first had entered. Mistress Marie. The girl, addressed as Marie, what? It's a silent H, right? Why is the H even there? Marie responded to her subordinate's greeting with a special gesture of acknowledgement. an impassive wave of the hand. You enjoy seat, Coco? What? Asked Marie of her compatriot Coco in a deadpan, almost intelligible manner of speech. Not at all, mistress. Mistress Marie never appears unnerved by anything we do. Coco silently thought to herself. Coco's compatriot apparent, Marie, appeared no older than Coco herself. Okay, who is who now? I think Coco is the blonde-haired girl, and then Marie is the white-haired girl. Graced with a youthful look, but stunted with a child's height. While Coco appeared overly belligerent, Marie appeared to exude an aura of harmlessness at first glance. However, her foes were also deceived by her aura of harmlessness. The hem of Marie's cloak was dyed from black to damp crimson with her victim's blood. I'm surprised you made it up here without tearing the hem. Marie tilted her head at Coco's comment, puzzled. An ethereal question mark seeming to float over her head. Coco made no sense. Why ruin a good cloak? No reason. No rush. No rush? If you didn't notice, everything's on fire. That's plenty of reason to rush. Thick smoke and the stench of blood polluted the air. Shrieks and explosions echo throughout Rughzenhaide Castle. Even though Marie was the center of the destruction, she was deaf to the orchestra of oblivion in the background. Task near completion. No rush. You do have a point, but Coco was at a loss for words, defeated by Marie's simple retort. Target. Where? Oh right, the target. Well, she's not here. I guess Xion was misinformed. Xion. Oh god, that's gonna be rather confusing, because it almost... I'm pretty sure you sort of just pronounce it the same. Xion and Xion. I guess you could try and pronounce the A a little bit more obvious. But to me, it just still... I'm just gonna bring back Xion, okay? For the people that viewed Eden will know about this. We're just gonna go with Xion. Reliable. Even Xion wrong? We obey sisters. Borders. I think she means orders. You mean orders. Orders. This was normal. Marie often communicated through expression and gestures rather than words. Marie's mannerisms were simple, frank, and left little room for interpretation. Where else could the target be? I'm pretty sure we made a thorough sweep. Plan B. Search and destroy. This'll take a while. Oh wait, that's Coco, damn. I'm gonna go crazy from searching the whole keep. Heh, funny. Coco made a distraught face at the thought of Plan B, a sight that entertained Marie. Marie took a slight joy in seeing Coco's distraught expression. Sure, laugh it up. Plan B it is. Let's split up and do a thorough check of the east and west wings. I'll take the east wing. Blink. What's wrong? Recall. Shadows. Soldiers. For escort? I'll be fine without them. My 150 shadow soldiers have already decimated most of Rughzenhaide warriors. So I'm not counting on encountering anyone. What's the matter, mistress? Don't let overconfidence cloud your judgment. Why? Does she speak like Yoda? I mean, sort of, not in the way that his half of the sentence is like in reverse, but more in the sense that there's a lot of pauses between, well, before in words, now it's like even bigger sections. Because now she actually talked 2 words in a row, and in the last one 3, rather than every single word separate. Stated Marie in a soft voice, her words connected and well formed. Or she just only learned to speak. I don't know. Everything's gone. What? She can actually... Everything's gone. According to Sister's design so far. But you may ultimately need Those 150 shade soldiers. Understood, stuttered Coco, standing up like a student before a teacher. It's never bad to expect the unexpected. That's all I meant. Scary. I didn't expect to hear a safety lecture come from her. Bystanders would never comprehend the force behind Marie's change in speech. Marie would speak more plainly about things she felt more strongly about, a difficult task for someone with a speech impediment. Ah, that could be it as well, of course. That she sort of stutters, I guess? Logical, or at least is very slow in talk, I don't know. There's gotta be several different speech impediments, but I don't know too much about it, so I'm not gonna say anything. Logical, seeing that she only just recently began remembering her vocabulary. Even with her limited vocabulary and lack of situational awareness, Marie was in no way unintelligent. Coco, Marie's subordinate and partner, understood this. As they split up, a voice rang out in Coco's right ear. Coco! Coco! Can you hear me? Hmm? Oh, Xian! Yes, I can hear you. How are things on your end? They all dead yet? I've flooded and sealed the first, second, and third floors with my mana. So yeah, they're all dead. And unless the reinforcement starts raining from the sky, there's no way for them to breach the main gate to the keep. But get a load of this. I just finished offing these 2 guards, right? Seriously, they were total pushovers. I think I'd get more of a thrill from killing these snoozers in my sleep. Says the person who volunteered to guard the rear. If you wanted action, you should have taken the lead. So, how are things going on your end? Fine, change the topic. That reminds me, you've got some explaining to do, Xian. You said that the princess was in the Sky Terrace, but she's not here. Huh? She has to be there. If you've checked the balcony already, then scour the place until you find her. Like I know already, alright? I'm gonna be sore from all this tomorrow. A thorough sweep of the terrace won't kill you, young un. Says you, Xian. Why don't you come up here instead? Stop wasting time and get going, Coco. Finish this already. Lay off, bitch. Wow, she actually... Okay, so I guess we can expect those words in this visual novel. Not that I mind, of course, because, you know, I use words like that, but it just comes out so sudden. Like every single piece of conversation just seemed normal, right? Like almost every single visual novel, and then suddenly, bitch. I gotta admit, knocking this nation off its foundation took a lot less effort than I imagined. I know what you mean. The indestructible reputation of Rughzenhaide just didn't live up to reality. Some symbol of Mana Crafters Alliance, huh? The fact that Mistress Milano took an active role in the attack probably had a lot to do with how easy it was. If I had to guess, oh, who cares? The mistress is so unorthodox, I have no idea what she's thinking doing this. Have some faith, Xian. It's not like Mistress Milano could have done this on her own without us. Actually, I personally think she could have single-handedly destroyed Rughzenhaide without us. If I had to describe the mistress in one word, it would be shrewd. You've got a point. Alright then, I'm going to secure and seal the remaining floors now. I hope you find the target soon. Xian out. Coco out. Luda out. Mistress Marie and Xian make everything sound so simple. Am I the only one who's feeling a little worried now? Killjoys, the both of them. I was doing just fine without them too. As Coco turned to make her way back to the Sky Terrace, a flash of light shot out of the corner of the east wing. Coco reacted a moment too late. Uh-oh. What? The head of Coco's staff was sliced clean off. My staff! Coco's staff was made from a lightweight alloy, not especially known for its durability, but still metallic. The edge of a common sword might nick it, but anything shorter wouldn't even leave a mark. Coco's eyes were focused on the weapon's tip as it passed by her head, digging its way into a stone wall before coming to a full stop. An invincible knife? An ice dagger? A crafty knife? Coco thought through the possibilities. Whatever type it was, she realized assessing her assailant took precedence. Who goes there? Show yourself! Uh-oh. Out from the darkness and into the light emerged yet another girl. A servant to the royals, Coco thought. She wore a purple cloak over a tricolor tunic, both made from fine silk. However, what immediately drew Coco's attention was not the quality of the girl's clothes, but the crest which shimmered around the collar of her cloak. The crest represented her rank in the Mana Crafters Alliance. A duel crafter! The fact that this girl couldn't have been older than 20 shocked Coco more than the translucent knife that had been flung at her. Ritona Rain Avasta. Coco didn't know it, but Ritona Reinvasta was royal guardian to the Princess Selphine Rughzenhaide. Where are you hiding this whole time? Or were? What are you after? Why do you seek my lady? Asked Ritona, having intentionally ignored Coco's question. Knowing that she would not receive a satisfactory reply, Ritona concluded that learning any information regarding the enemy's objective was of the utmost importance. Seek milady? You've got it all wrong! Listen, we haven't got a plan. We're only to brighten Rughzenhaide up! Literally. Now, whether or not we decide to set you on fire is completely up to us. Got it? You're all at our mercy. We're in control now. If you want to live, then you'd better liven up and tell us everything we want to know. If you don't talk, I kill you. Simple as that. Very well. And judging by your attire, I'm gonna guess you're a servant around here, right? You wouldn't happen to know where Selphine is, would you? I do know where she is. You do? Holy crap, look at that evil face that just came on Coco's head. Oh god. You do? She's like, oh yes. Great. Let's do this then. You tell me where she is and I promise to spare you. You will? And if I refuse? Well, obviously, if you don't tell me, then I'll kill you. Duh. Aren't my demands pretty simple and motivational? Are you trying to get on my bad side or something? Has the smoke gone to your head? Is your brain too fried to comprehend the situation here? I'm starting to lose my patience with you. The next thing out of your mouth better be the Selphine's location or... Princess. What? You shall address Milady as Princess Selphine, you disrespectful child. The inferno blazing in Ritona's eyes melted away her cool, collected demeanor. Uh-oh, we pissed her off. I do not know what it is you seek to gain from committing regicide, but you shall submit yourself before common courtesy and address the Princess of Rughzenhaide by her proper title. Your utter disregard for Milady's official title is evidence enough of your lack of morality. Huh? The time for talk is over. Duel me. That is the only way you imbeciles know how to conduct yourselves. You will learn common courtesy after I've thoroughly disciplined you. Didn't you hear a single word I said? You think you can duel me? You think you can beat me? Are you out of your mind? Who cares if you're a duel crafter? You can't beat me. Your stupid mana crafter rank in the Alliance doesn't mean a damn where I'm from. En garde! In an instant, both mana crafters began gathering their purified mana. Whoa! Two ethereal orbs of light slowly materialized and revolved around Ritona, causing Coco to stare in awe. They began augmenting her mana with the surrounding mana, preparing for battle crafting. Gradually, a torrential mix of colored mana began revolving around Ritona. Ritona had initiated the incantation interval, which gathers together both colored and purified mana. This resulted in an already overwhelming display of her mastery of Pyro and Terra mana crafting, or so Coco had originally thought. What materialized from Ritona's extravagant display of colored and purified mana was a translucent, bladed weapon, which most Pyro and Terra duel crafters can create if they are inclined to melee attacks. You've got my hopes up with that pretty light show, and that sword's all you have to show for it? However, it was no ordinary blade. A glass. It's a glass sword. You're out of your mind. What of it? You're nothing but a glass crafter. Do you have a death wish or something? You really think you can defeat me with that brittle blade? Enough chatter, child. Let us commence our duel. Keep it up, you big bitch. Just you keep it up. Call me a child one more time. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. You think you can stop me, glass crafter? Is that what you think? Well, you're dead wrong. Clack clack. As Coco concluded her declaration, she slammed the tip of her staff twice into the ground, causing a glowing triangle to emerge at the base of Ritona's feet. She's casting a ranged mana crafty instead of engaging in melee combat? I'll make your passing as painful as possible. Arise! Oh, Illuminati confirmed! Triangle incineration! Silence covered the east wing, followed by a pillar of fire shooting from the glowing triangle to the ceiling. Bam! That must have been loud. Sluggish. Ritona escaped the trap, landing squarely behind Coco while running the tip of her sword along her back. No! Coco reacted in an instant, leaning forward while kicking hard at the ground to move away from Ritona. After landing at a safe distance, Coco quickly assessed her wound, but... Where is it? What the... The wound was nowhere to be seen. The agonizing sensation of sharp glass carving through her back gradually dulled and dissipated. How did you... Coco realized then how the wound had vanished. At first glance, Coco's sword would only appear to be made from glass, but it was, in fact, a lethal weapon of unusual craft. This glass sword is actually crafted from Transidian ore. It's often mistaken for plain glass. A Transidian sword? An ore capable of creating the sharpest edge known to humankind. It really did. But it's almost impossible to forge. Refining the ore without breaking it is impossible. But it can be done. My mastery of Pyro and Terra mana crafty allowed for the creation of the Transidian weapons, though it takes some time. Why would you bother crafting a sword out of Transidian at all? Don't you think forging a sword out of an alloy would have been easier? What difference does the material make, so long as the resulting edged weapon serves its purpose? That's your reasoning for crafting some weird double-edged weapon? In fact, why are you even dueling me with a sword? It makes no sense. You're a little slow on the uptake, aren't you? My battle-crafty forte is in melee combat. Ritona leapt in an instant. Coco knew she would be outmatched in melee combat, so she tried to gain distance over Ritona. Arise, my shadow soldiers! Coco slammed the tip of her staff into the ground once more. The shadow from the staff stretched to the nearest wall from whence shadowy warriors began to emerge. Coco summoned four of her shadow soldiers. They quickly surrounded and trapped Ritona, leaving her no room to escape. This girl can summon shadow soldiers? The very same one that attacked our castle? Be careful, she's a slippery one. Cut her down before she uses that sword on you, and make sure she doesn't come anywhere near me. Coco raised her staff again, spreading a glowing wave of mana into the air. The glowing halo of mana wafted towards and encircled the four shadow soldiers. May my wisdom of Pyro and Terra craft unbreakable chains. Slam! Coco's staff made contact with the ground once more, and the halo of mana materialized into a steel chain. How can she create and manipulate that chain from a distance? I need to seal her movements. With a single stroke of her finger, Coco's shadow soldiers attempted to contain and maim Ritona. Regardless of her entrapment, she continued to bob and weave between the countless swings of the shadow soldiers' ethereal longswords. I've got her now! Cling cling. Coco's steel chain fell over her shadow soldiers, and it used it to trap and bind Ritona. Oh yeah! Ha 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 ha! There's no escape this time! I'm gonna enjoy watching you die! Coco and the shadow soldiers closed in on the now chained Ritona, clasping hands to one another in the shape of a pentagram. And then... arise! Coco's staff and the shadow soldiers' black swords simultaneously struck the ground at 5 points. From these 5 points, a glowing pentagram formed on the ground where Ritona stood. Pentagram incineration! Another pillar shot towards the ceiling in a flash. While a triangle was scorched into the stone ceiling from Coco's first attack, this attack punched the pentagram-shaped hole straight through the ceiling, revealing a full moon floating in the night sky. Woohoo! I burned that bitch to a crisp! What's the matter with you all? It's time to celebrate? Coco's shadow soldiers had ceased to respond to their master's beckoning, throwing Coco into confusion. Uh-oh. Never forget this sensation. For this sensation surpasses that of steel, spoke a voice as Coco's shadow soldiers dispersed. Yet again, Ritona had escaped Coco's trap and made her way around Coco's back. Coco was once more at Ritona's mercy, as she now found herself with the tip of a Transidian sword pressed against her neck. Even when lightly pressed against skin, the sensation of flesh being slowly flayed was evidence from Coco's grimace. That's not fair! Glass can't cut through steel. It just can't. Something about you doesn't add up. You're skilled in conventional combative mana crafty, but those very skills are unsuited for it. Your first attack was powerful enough to scorch stone, and your second attack far surpassed the first, blasting straight through mortar. But the incineration intervals for both mana crafties was too costly. I could have defeated you easily in the time you took twice. Thus, your ranged mana crafty was insufficient in a duel that called for ranged. I don't need your stupid lecture. Coco clung desperately to her staff, bearing the immense pain of Ritona's Transidian sword against her neck. Why, when I was so close to achieving our objective, did I encounter this bitch? Very well. Your life is in my hands, but I do not wish to spill your blood. I detest using force as a means of resolution. I only desire dialogue to end this needless bloodshed. The pain Coco felt from the sword diminished. Dialogue? Coco reacted to Ritona's ultimatum with disgust, but in an instant... You're something else, you know that? Coco reached the conclusion regarding her opponent. She realized that Ritona would ultimately choose not to kill her, which brought her to dark delight. You're a riot! Coco sneered and lunged the tip of her staff down towards Ritona's foot. Bam! What kind of idiot would want dialogue with the people who massacred her people? Oh, I know who would. You! Indeed. Compassion had no place on the battlefield, even from a citizen of a kingdom renowned for pursuing pacifism. Even Ritona was well aware of this paradox. She knew she could be forced to take her head's foe. Ritona resisted, even struggled against the impulse to kill Coco. It was this very impulse that set Coco and Ritona apart. Coco was capable of committing murder without a hint of hesitation. "You cannot defeat me, child. Your provocations fall on deaf ears. The only idiot here is the one who's still struggling when a sword's pressed against her throat." Ritona struggled against the concept of executing the child. She even struggled against the concept of this child committing mass murder without a shred of hesitance. The concept of child soldiers was foreign to Ritona, who didn't know how fortunate she was to be born and raised in a peaceful kingdom. To Coco, Ritona's mercy was a childish idea to pursue on the battlefield. It was kill or be killed. "It feels like I'm talking to a wall. Your mercy makes no sense to me. Do you know how many of your people I've slaughtered tonight? Do you want to settle this peacefully through dialogue?" How naive can you be? Is it so wrong to take a life if it means protecting someone you can't live without? Well, is it so wrong? We're not so different, you and I. I know you'd kill to protect your precious princess. Ritona gave no retort. She was apprehensive at the very aspect of agreeing with Coco's creed. It wasn't like Ritona to be rattled by words, so... In fact, Ritona was shocked into speechlessness, followed by a disquieting silence that befell the chamber. Ritona had never let an opponent's words affect her to the point of speechlessness. The unnatural silence that filled the air felt almost organic, as if produced to conceal a shadow which found herself directly behind Ritona. Crafty Crusher! Ritona's Transidian sword, reliable through her duel, was suddenly reduced to microscopic fragments. My sword, it shattered from mana instability? I should have been able to detect this. Case in point. This is my faithful partner, Mistress Marie. We'd kill to protect each other. Marie greeted Ritona with her signature hand wave. Create more shadow soldiers. Yet, I will now. I warned you that. You need those 150 shadow soldiers. Create sturdier shadow soldiers. I shall, Mistress Marie. What did that do to my sword? Huh? Broke it with Crafty Crusher. You can do that? Mana Crafty destabilization and nullification. But how? It should be an impossible feat. Normally a great deal of time and mana would be dedicated to such a thing. Marie's ability allows her to bypass that altogether. I wouldn't try to understand how the mistress's ability came to be. You've got more important things to worry about. Just know that the incantation interval doesn't apply to any of the mistress's mana crafty, but for the rest of it, it does. That just can't be true. It's impossible. Ritona ignored Coco's advice and tried to make sense of it. Despite Coco's firepower, the incantation interval required for each cast left her at a disadvantage when dueling. However, Coco's partner ensures absolute defense. They are the perfect sword and shield. The tables had turned for Ritona. Because of the time she spent demanding Coco's surrender, Ritona's pursuit for compassion had betrayed her in turn. Forgive me, my lady. Stay low to the ground. Okay. Oh no, Selphine. With a wave of Ritona's hand, the hidden glass wall in front of the chamber's gable fractured, then shattered. The sound of glass fragments was all that was audible within the chamber as light reflected off the glass and illuminated the east wing. Princess Selphine, who had been hidden there the whole time, stepped out from the gable and into the blinding light. It's really Selphine! Coco immediately raised her staff and began casting an offensive mana crafty. However, Ritona had already reached Selphine's side by the time Coco raised her staff. Speedy! Why is the mana around here stirring so restlessly? Incantation? Interfall? Wait. Why is she even bothering to use Battlecrafty? 1,000 pardons, milady, but please close your eyes just for a brief moment. Wind slowly gathered into a raging vortex, enveloping both Ritona and Selphine. Coco! Get away from there, now! The east wing was illuminated with blinding bright light once more. It wasn't the transcendent Battlecrafty she cast before? The light dispersed, revealing everything once again, except for... Oh yeah, they're gone. Mistress, what happened? What? What happened? Where did they go? They vanished into thin air. Holy crap. Well, I think this was a rather long video, but it was pretty evident that I couldn't just stop in the middle of there, and this is starting off really action-packed already. I mean, sure, there are a lot of difficult terms that you probably have to get used to, like, I guess mana crafty is just sort of like mana, and like crafty is sort of just like you're casting it, and there are like several spells and that sort of stuff. And like the circles, really reminds me of like Full Metal Alchemist with the transmutation circles and stuff. But dang, this one seems to be pretty dang good. So I hope you guys are enjoying it well. So show some love to this video if you enjoy it by clicking the like button. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.